Hi everyone, it's Catherine here from Inky Fingered Cat. Today's theme for the card is holly, and I decided I wanted to use the stamps, Paperartsy stamps that my friend Darcy drew. I love these because I love the little bit of text print that's within them. I love the fact that they're more organic looking than you would normally get for a holly leaf, but also they look a little bit quirky. So I decided I also wanted to do colouring in, but I didn't want to do a large panel, so I decided that I would just mask off and do a small panel. And this creates just one little thing going down one side of the card. So I'm stamping in lots of different colours of green ink. I'm using my Stampin' Up inks just because I've got quite a few of them, and they're a nice dye-based ink that dries nice and quickly. And now I'm going to start masking so that I can create more leaves in the background. Now I've got these ones that are going to sit in the front. So the way I do that is I stamp the image again onto post-it notes, onto the sticky part of the post-it note, and then I fussy cut them out just inside the line, and that way they're going to fit just inside the image. So that should be enough, and now here I go with some more stamping. I'm moving stamps to make sure that the bits where I'm stamping is covered up, and keep changing the inks and keep changing the stamp. So sometimes it's the large stamp, sometimes it's the small stamp, until I'm happy that I've got as much of the panel covered in with some of the leaves as I can. Now I'm removing those leaf masks. So I wanted to lay down a little bit of background colour, so I'm using my Clarity brushes to brush on some of the green ink, and I chose the lightest of the shades of green there. Now I'm going to get some green colouring pencils out. These are Spectrum Noir pencils, and I'm starting adding colour to the leaves. So I'm keeping to the same colour. Stamping is going to have the same colour as a base colour on the leaf, and then I'm going to add a little bit of shading using a different colour, and then move on to another leaf and do that in that colour. Okay, so there's the colouring all done, and I've removed the masks now, and you can see that's a really nice panel of holly leaves. I didn't really want to do much more to it in terms of stamping or anything, so I decided instead I would use these Tim Holtz sentiment dies. I will cut the shadow part of the die out of this vellum, and then I will cut the actual word part using some cardstock. Now the vellum didn't cut as well as I thought it had, but by this point it was too late to run it back through again, so I do have to do a little bit of adjustment with my scissors. You can't tell on the final item that there were some bits that hadn't quite cut as well as they should have done. It really won't matter, but to be honest, even if it was obvious and it was able to see, these are handmade cards. They are not machine cut perfect every time, and as long as they don't look awful, I'm usually good to keep going with it. So here I am. I've now cut out the words using some red cardstock, and I'm just taking them out of the dies, which is a little bit fussy, but I've had worse dies. Some dies which really I could throw away and never see again quite happily, because they were so fussy and awful. So I'm doing a little bit of a tidy up. I completely forget about that ampersand that's sitting there on the desk, but never mind. I'm sure that gets put away at some point soon. And now I'm going to decide how I want to glue these down, and I use my Nouveau glue pen, which sticks to my hand more than anything else, but yeah, it does do the job and it will adhere it to the vellum. And I just make sure I've dabbed it all around, and then I'm careful as I'm laying it down, making sure that if it's stretched at all, that it just it manoeuvres it back into place. And now I just need to decide where I want the words, and this time I'm using the high tack glue on the back of the vellum to adhere the words. So I want them to be quite flat. I'm not after anything particularly raised on this at this point, and I'm really happy with how that works. I think it looks really modern. I decide that I just want a little bit of extra red to be pulled in, so I choose a few of the card candy in the red colour, and then I'm going to add these with a little foam tab, so there is that bit of dimension, but it really isn't much. And then I realised I'd got no sparkle on this, so I'm going over the words, just the red part, with my Wink of Stella shimmer brush, and adding that shimmer and shine to all of the letters. And then I'll do the same on the card candy and give them a bit of shimmer too. And that's my card for today. So I hope you enjoyed that. Really enjoyed making this one. I really enjoyed the relaxing colouring. And until next time, goodbye.